Welcome to BTS Plains FF's Your Strict Boss. Disclaimer: this is a complete work of fan fiction. Can you help me to organize these files? Well, looks towards the tons of work she have to do of her own, but she smiles politely. How could she reject her boss on face and notes while sighing and winning in frustration in her brain? One was working, busy in organizing all the files that he had given to her, while Jungkook was lost in admiring her side profile, pretending as if he's working, but he was just staring her and doing nothing. One stays in his office for more than an hour, and the whole time he was just staring her from time to time like a creep, without being so obvious. Boss, I'm done with files. He frowns. That was early, he murmured underneath his breath, but nods anyways. Thank you so much for your help, he replied softly with a gentle smile. My heart skips a beat. She have never seen someone smile this beautiful. No problem, sir. If you don't need assistance or help in anything else, I should take my leave. Of course. Miss Wine, who was walking from lobby, stops as she looks behind towards her boss with the raised brow. Her long ponytail slightly moved with her movement. Yes, sir, she asks lightly with the raised brow in confusion, not knowing what her boss wants from her now. Doing anything special? Well, I'm almost done with my work. Why do you ask? Great then, you're coming with me on a business meeting. When eyes widened when he handed her tons of files from his secretary's hand as she ran behind him in her high heels, trying to match his pace. Wait, what? Where are we going? And what's with these files? What do I have to do after going there? He turns as she bumped on him. I'm so. Before she completed her sentence, he put his finger on her mouth to shut. Oh god, a lot of questions in one breath. Bella, she blinks innocently, her cheeks slightly flushed. Just sit in car and I will explain you everything. You got me? She nods, staring in his eyes, but he didn't take his finger away. And yeah, take a deep breath and hear me first before your next question, alright? She nods, and he moved his finger away and obeyed silently what he told her to do. She was flustered with his sudden act. Well, that was nothing new for both of them. He often asked her to help him in randomly things, from organizing and assisting to his business meetings at the last minute, even though she do nothing except just being there for him. She still remembered his words when she asked him why he always take her to all these important meetings when she knew nothing about it. Because originally she belongs to a fashion designing department and she have nothing to do with all the deals and whatever he normally do on daily basis. His reply that day twisted something inside her. You're my liking charm, Bella. I always got the deal in which I take you with me. He replied her with the husky voice and gentle smile while ruffling her hair. Butterflies bloom in her stomach. She was on cloud nine that day. What she didn't knew was her boss have special feelings for her and all this special treatment was just meant for her and her only. And taking her with all these meetings and giving her extra work to do in his office was just an excuse to be with her and share her for a little more time. Skip. Jungkook was passing from restaurant after an important meeting, but a familiar voice and giggles make him halt one place as he stops and moves towards the attraction only to find his Bella laughing and giggling while talking with the boy. The way she was dressed up and her eyes was shining, he immediately got to know she was on a date with that person, and within seconds his peaceful mood changed into blank and dark. His muscles hardened as he clutched his fist, eyes still fixed on her intently. He was burning in jealousy and rage, his possessiveness for her on peak. He can't bear someone staring her, and here she was on a date with a complete stranger. With one phone call, he got to know she was actually on a blind date. But the way she was laughing and giggling like a freebie or careless child was bothering him more. He always had a professional relationship with her, even though he had feelings for her for more than 2 years now. They have met many times, but he have never seen her this happy with himself. Everything was making him more jealous with every passing minute. Next day, Wan was sitting in cafeteria having her lunch, and that's when her boss jungkook barged inside, who stared at her with his stern, cold expressions. Wan felt a shiver run down her spine. He usually greets her with a nod or gruff good morning, but today he doesn't even acknowledge her presence. Instead, he heads straight towards the coffee machine and starts making himself a cup of coffee. The tense silence hangs in the air, and one can't help but feel confused and a little worried about his unusual behavior. What's wrong? She murmurs to herself. Did I do something wrong? Or is the boss angry on something else? One thinks in her mind. But she sighs and continues her brunch. Once phone rings, and as it was lunchtime, she attended the call. Yes? Hey, I'm Dante, your date from yesterday. When eyes slightly widen as she felt the little flush cover her cheeks, and she nods, even though he can't see her. Yeah, of course. How could I forget you, Dante? She replied sweetly, while Jungkook's hand, who was stirring mugs, dropped, and he looks towards Ryan, who was blushing while talking now. His eyes went dark, jaw hardened as he clenches tightly, as if fighting delicious anger on the person on the other side of the call. He tried to keep his expression indifferent, but his jaw was so tight it felt like it might snap, but pretended to stir his coffee, listening to her every word. What she said. Yeah, okay, fine. We'll see you tonight. Jungkook was shocked. He just saw her yesterday with her date, which makes him more angry to core. Does it mean we'll like him too? He snorted as he came towards her in his strong alpha steps and snatched her phone from her hand, one size widened on his sudden act. Do you came here for work or gossips, Miss Wan? He almost yelled rudely, making her flinch on his sudden outburst. She had never seen him angry, and due to his this sudden behavior, her eyes turned glossy. She stuttered, holding herself as she tried to reply on his rudeness. It's lunch break, Mr. John. She sobbed out with hiccups. I think I'm allowed to use my phone in break time. Jungkook's face featured fluttered as guilt started spreading in his system. But he masked it with his usual cold face and left from there without another word. One fell down on her chair as she burst into more tears. Thankfully, there was no one in cafeteria except both of them, or otherwise one becomes so embarrassed. It was not his intention to act irrationally or to scare her or made her cry. On top of that, instead of apologizing or making her feel better, he left her there like a coward. He huffs in frustration. On one hand, he was jealous to know she was going on a date second time with someone, but on the other side, it was his feelings for her. What he can do at this difficult situation. He was so helpless. He knew that she didn't know about his feelings, but it was also true he can't see her with someone. His eyes massaging his temples. One got dressed in finest outfit. She was already feeling down because of morning incident and don't want to go on any date, but her Southside complains. She had already made an appointment with Dante and now she can't back away. She was sure he must take his precious time just for her and their date today, so she won't let it waste. I'm sorry to make you wait, he smiles. Of course not. I just reached here. I'll let out a sigh of relief. As she settled, they ordered their food and started having a little chit chat. But like yesterday, the same person was still staring her with same jealousy and anger. It was getting hard for Jungkook to control his emotions and to not leash his anger on the guy right now. For how many minutes he's been there, he'll have no idea. Dante grabbed Wen's hand as he knuckles and Jungkook eyes widened. It was end of his patience. He immediately got up from his chair and before he controlled himself strolled towards them and before they know what's coming next, he grabbed Dante from his shirt. How you touch her, he growled, anger radiating from his body. Alwen's eyes widened to see a raging like a lion Jungkook there. Boss, she gasped. What are you doing? Within seconds, they were like cats and dogs, and when don't even know. Reason. When I never saw him angry like this, and she don't even know the reason behind it. Jungkook half seriously cast some real, and when don't know how she pulled him away from Dante. Pulling away his chair, Wan, who was panicking, her eyes widened to see face, and While he was breathing, she bit her lower lip, not knowing what to do. It's becoming difficult for you to choose, isn't it, Wan? He mocks. Wan got his point immediately. Of course, on one side it was her boss, and on the side her date. She looks towards Dante and Jungkook, but before she decides whom she's going to help or what to reply, her eyes almost pop out when Jungkook pulls her towards him as he swiftly throw her on his shoulder like a rag doll and take her with him. While Wen was just yelling and slapping his back while asking about his sudden action, but nothing was affecting to him at all. Do you have lost some brain cells, or are you perhaps high? Jungkook, she yelled, and he smirks with a light chuckle. We changed from boss to Jungkook Pasi and now with Bella. Wen closed her eyes and asked, what was your earlier action about? What you think? He slightly hissed while talking, as his lips were too, as she closed her eyes in frustration. Grace flustered kid. He stared at her for a second and then pointed towards the cabinet. She didn't waste another second as she turned back with everything in it and balanced him carefully while blowing air. Jung was just staring her calmly, but only if she knew the turmoil going inside his belly and how happy her this tiny act made him. He was screaming internally to find her caring for him. It's done, she announced for him, so he would sit comfortably now because he was sitting on edge, so she won't feel difficulty in managing. But instead of living on couch and sit comfortably, he stays in the same position as he stared her intently, which slightly make her nervous. What what's wrong? Is there something on my face? He nods in monotone and sure it's a bro. What? Mia Raj Isabella, my beautiful girl. In Gulpsalam, she was not formal with this raw language, except last word, but the way he says it in a husky, manly voice, while staring intently in her eyes, that makes her cheek flushed. One clears her throat because she needs to know what's wrong and why he takes her to his house of first place, as if he abducted her in front of everyone. She cleared her throat and sat in far distance away from him. Her dissection made him narrow his eyes and the expression serious. What was the real action? She straightly came to point. He was not allowed to touch you. When narrows her eyes as she scoffs in disbelief. Who are you, my brother or dad? She huffs, rolling her eyes. No, your dad, but I don't mind being your. One eye widened as her cheeks turned into crimson color. Her gaze went towards the water bottle as she got up, filled the glass, and drank it in one go. In a failed attempt to calm her nerves, I still don't get my reply. It's simple as it looks like. She turns, only to find him standing in front of her, who pulled her gloves up, wrapping his arm around her waist. What are you doing, Jungkook? She stutters as she tried to pull away, but in vain. I can't see a single guy around you, let alone let him touch or you. Even if that's your hand. He holds her hand and, while staring directly in her eyes, she gulps a visible lump, something feeling inside her, but she had not felt this before when she was with Dante. Jungkook, what are you doing? She placed a finger on her mouth. I think I should confess sooner, but I didn't have courage. I was afraid how you would react, but not anymore. One is a bro. I'm in love with you, when date me, Bella. Her eyes widened in shock as she tried to pull away, but he was holding her firmly. My early reaction was a pure radiation of my jealousy and helplessness. I'm madly in love with you, Wen. Please give me a chance to prove myself. I can't just go around and every single person you plan to go on a date. Laughs in attempt to use attention while Wen was still on her place. Speak something, please. She took a shaky breath coming out of her trance. From how long? Till you joined more than 1.5 years ago? Wen gasped, hearing his words. Was everything the special treatment? Finding reasons to ask me for your help and taking me in all these meetings? Was this pure intentional? And because of this, nods and she let out a frustrated sigh, holding her face in her palms. How dumb was I? And to never understood your real intentions. She groans in annoyance. I don't have any bad intention for you. That was just a way to keep you close, I promise. When just nods. We want to hear a reply. You know it already. I love you too, or probably I have feelings for you too. When narrows her eyes on his words. Stop daydreaming, Jungkook. He looks down in disappointment as she made him face her, grabbing his jaw. But I can respect your feelings. Moreover, I don't want to see another person. Like today, she continued while he was staring her like he just saw a ghost. Wait, what does that mean? Is it yes? She nods with a shy smile while averting a gaze to the side. I can't promise I'll reciprocate your feelings just yet, but we can give it a chance, right? He desperately nods in approval as a smile bloomed his lips. Wait, I forgot to apologize. I'm so sorry for morning. I was just jealous and ended up scolding you. I'm sorry. My love, why not? I got it and forgive you. It was your first and last mistake. Moreover, impressed you accept about your jealousy without keeping it to him yourself. He scratches his back but smiled lightly. No buts. Really, I'm sorry. I hear you talking with that guy and jealous you took over me. I really am sorry, he bows, sincerity in his eyes. It's okay, Jungkook. Super now. Let's begin our journey, he murmured, as he intertwined his fingers with hers and pulled her, taking her in surprise, but she replied in same passion, which makes him smile. Thanks for watching.